Hey, this is Russ with Winged Saber Historical Fencing. The following is a video about actions in the synoptic table, and there are a few things you need to remember when you're looking at these. The first is that these were not explicitly taught in the system, but were part of my attempts to codify consistently recurring actions that we would find occurring within the lineage. Remember, this is a living lineage, but it has a broken pedagogy because Professor Hedon was taught as a child. So when you are looking at the actions in these sequences, they are a set of evolutions that are practical responses no matter what the attacker or defender happens to be doing. And we primarily use them to teach mobility and how to get into the proper position. When you're in the proper position, impossible techniques become absolutely simple. And when you lose position, absolutely simple techniques become impossible to safely perform. So when you work with your partner, what you're really looking for is, where do I have to step or where do I have to be in order to make these techniques work? And with your partner, you get to explore that, and you will find over time that your ability to marry this with your feet gets better and better because you're practicing a bunch of meta skills along with the somewhat artificial form of, from here, do this, they respond to that, you respond to that. Okay? Have fun. Okay, so let's take a look at this variant. I cut 2, cat responds with a false edge cut into the wrist. If I move my feet, it's trivially easy for me to respond with a false edge cut over the wrist. If cat turns her body and moves her feet, it's trivially easy for her to get rid of this with parry 2. Then she can stab me in the face. Why can she stab me in the face? Because she moved her feet, and she can command my blade with absolute ease. Come on in. I have nothing I can do there unless I move my feet and move on. But synoptic table entries don't need to be more than 3 steps, 4 steps long. Let's see this again. 2. She goes false edge under. I did this. She was so super nice to me, she didn't gut me with the false edge while we were talking. Thanks, cat. My opponent in a bout is not going to be that nice. I have to move my feet to be safe. 2. She initiates the false edge cut. I step. She gets rid of it. Watch what happens if she gets target lock and forgets to defend herself before she does face stabification. Look at her. She wants to face stabify. 2. At best, double. At worst, she has run herself onto the point. And in this position, I was angling for this, but she steps forward for the thrust. That's going to hurt so much she may actually not make contact. If you have ever walked into somebody's structured thrust, you know what I'm talking about. Use blades with flex. This is your first primary safety tool, not your padded jacket. All right, let's see it one more time when everybody's moving their feet. 2. False edge cut under, repositioning, and she makes the parry, and she stabs. Again, find the position, and your partner or opponent's actions become ineffectual. Don't find the position, and at best you embarrass yourself, at worst you get shanked. Practice it, practice it, practice it, until finding the position becomes instinctual. Once you can do that, you will no longer be a beginning fencer. You'll be an intermediate fencer who puts away the scrubs and pools very easily, and then you'll be dealing with a higher level of fencing where you're trying to get them to do what you want ahead of time. It's a different order of fencing entirely. Get this done first. Thanks. Have fun fencing. We've got more videos and content coming, so if you liked what you saw and it was useful for you, please stab the like button, /subscribe, and punch the little bell icon so that you're notified immediately when new content comes available. Thanks, and go do the thing.